Welcome back, with another reflection on the Daily Vedantic. For the listeners that didn't get to enjoy the dab, it was something. I had fun doing it. The reflection that I have for today, just looking over a few of the notes I jotted down. This is a subtle one. Easy to misinterpret. But the heart of all of our problems, it's not that we have the wrong values. Most people, especially if you're listening to this, but most people have the right values. They know it's not good to lie, cheat, steal. They know these things. But where we struggle is the sense of proportion. What do I mean by that? To have the right sense of values, to know what's right and what's wrong, what's healthy for a community, what's unhealthy for a community. Many of us know these things. The alcoholic knows they've got a problem. They're choosing alcohol oftentimes because of a deeper problem, but they know the alcohol isn't making things better. Having those folks close to me, knowing that they know it's a problem they know years before seeking help. We all have our different addictions. Workaholism, whether it's an addiction to smoking, addiction to validation, people pleasing, and the addiction to people letting us belong and getting the signals, okay, I can belong, I'm safe here. We all have these addictions, addiction to other people. It's a very strong one. We all have these addictions. And it's not a matter of knowing that, oh, this is an addiction I didn't know. That's often not the issue. The issue is sense of proportion. Sense of proportion is understanding, all right, I value these things. I have a sense of values. I value that it's better to be honest. It's better to do things the right way and not cheat. It's better to not steal. But what do we do to cultivate those virtuous thoughts into virtuous action? In our sense of proportion, how much time are we spending cultivating not just knowledge, but an experience that, wow, honesty really does pay off. Oh man, cheating really destroys my internal peace and my connections to those around me. And when I do things the wrong way, I cut corners, take shortcuts, it usually backfires. When it goes from knowledge to experience, it is the difference between, example I always think about is, and I think I mentioned before, is talking about surfing and then catching a wave. So different in kind. It's not just a difference in degree. Aristotle said the cultivation of one's character is the most important work we do. We hear something like that, we agree with it. That is the sense of value. Mention that to 10 people and you might not get a ruckus agreement, but you get a lot of nods from 8, 9, 10 of them saying, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Character is important. And then you ask them, how much time do you spend during the day cultivating your character? You might get blank looks because they don't even know what you mean by how would you cultivate your character? And this philosophy and this theme of studying and reflecting continually, daily, in fact, because you catch the virus of attachment. If you go 3 or 4 days without study, you are on a walk with a friend and you catch some attachment. And then you spend the next week on Zillow looking at places. It is a virus that can be caught so easily. And as I said recently, in an episode maybe 2 or 3 episodes ago, there is no cure. There is only a daily inoculation that comes from daily study and reflection. That is our sense of proportion, To not just say, oh yeah, cultivation of our character is really important. To agree, to wholeheartedly agree, perhaps. They're like, yeah, of course. And then to answer that with, and I spend 15 minutes every morning reading timeless wisdom. It could be St. Augustine. It could be the Upanishads. It could be Vedanta treatise. It could be the Quran. But if you don't have an answer to how much time do you spend each day cultivating, the thing that you agree is the most important thing to cultivate, then it's probably as silly as nodding and saying, yeah, exercise is really important. Whole lot of benefits from that. That is the most important thing that I could be doing right now. Having the sense of value, but no sense of proportion. And the time during your day, there's no proportion carved out for that thing that you just said. It's the most important thing you could do right then. Sense of values is very different than sense of proportion. Nearly everyone has sense of values. And here is the challenge from this episode. Nearly everyone has a sense of values. But are you the one rare individual that has an understanding and a sense of proportion of the time, the dedication, devotion, study, reflection that's required, that turn these values that one might talk about, turn this knowledge into wisdom, where every ounce of you is wired in such a way where you never even have to think about those values or virtues. The same way you never have to think about how you walk or how you breathe, because it is so ingrained in one's behavior. That is a proper sense of proportion. As Alan Watts would say, the virtuous one doesn't even know they're virtuous. There's no pat on the back. It's just the only way to do it. No one pats themselves on the back when they breathe, when they walk a few feet. That's if you want to move, if you want to breathe, if you want to not suffer, it's what you do. And this philosophy says it can, it should, it is our natural state to make the exact same thing happen with virtue. And that comes through not just a sense of values, but a sense of proportion. That is today's reflection on the Daily Vedantic. We'll see you next time.